Hello everyone. In my previous lecture, I discussed about initiation process of DNA replication in prokaryotic cell like E. coli. Now in this lecture, I'm going to focus on elongation. It is the second stage of replication which occur in both prokaryote as well as in eukaryotic cell. This is this stage which is literally similar in both pro as well as in eukaryotes. The difference mainly found in initiation and termination. Now in this lecture, I'm going to focus on elongation, the enzymes required for elongation and the actual process that occur during this stage. Now first of all, we are going to see the first enzyme which take part in the elongation process. It is primase. We know that none of the DNA polymerase have ability to start the synthesizing new DNA strand, but it require a 3' OH free group or free end, and to give this end, a small RNA fragment is produced at the start of the elongation, and this fragment is called as primer. It is 10 to 12 base pair long fragment which is produced by enzyme primase. It is a RNA polymerase enzyme, and the enzyme is produced by a gene called DNAG. Actually, this enzyme can synthesize single primer on leading strand and multiple primer on lagging strand. This is replication fork, and yesterday or in my previous lecture I discussed about the formation of a replication fork. A replication fork formed during the initiation of the replication when two strands of DNA get separated due to action of DNA B protein. This is the helicase enzyme which unwind the two DNA strands, and then single stranded binding protein keep these two strands away from each other. Okay. Now after formation of replication fork, first enzyme which come is primase in the elongation phase, and then it produce 10 to 12 base pair long RNA on leading strand and multiple such primer on lagging strand. Here you can notice that leading strand requires single primer while lagging strand require multiple primer. This is because a leading strand generally have right orientation which is required by DNA polymerase. DNA polymerase can synthesize new DNA strand only in 5' to 3' direction. So on leading strand, DNA polymerase requires single primer, while on lagging strand, multiple primers are required, because on lagging strand, polarity of the strand is 5' to 3'. So new strand become 3' to 5'. It is not possible for RNA polymerase to synthesize new strand in this direction. So new strand on lagging strand is synthesized in opposite direction. Okay, so this is the first enzyme which take part in the elongation phase of replication. Now the second and most important enzyme of the replication process is DNA polymerase. We know that DNA polymerase is the enzyme which having ability to synthesize new DNA strand by using template strand. So the old strand which is used by the DNA polymerase for synthesizing new strand, it is called as template strand. Old strand generally read by the DNA polymerase for synthesizing new daughter strand. Uh, in prokaryotes, like in E. coli, there are multiple DNA polymerase enzymes are reported, like DNA polymerase 1, 2, 3, up to 5. And all these enzymes have quite different functions. For example, DNA polymerase 1 enzyme in E. coli or prokaryotes is produced by the gene Pol A or polymerase A gene, and this enzyme is required for major repair mechanisms. We know that inside the prokaryotic cell, the DNA may get damaged due to ultraviolet light or due to unwanted mutations, and this damaged DNA can be repaired by this enzyme, DNA polymerase 1. So this is the major enzyme which is required for DNA repair. DNA polymerase 2 enzyme is produced by a gene Pol B or polymerase B, and this enzyme also play a role of repair at minor levels. That means DNA polymerase 2 is a minor repair enzyme. DNA polymerase 3 in E. coli is produced by Pol C genes, and this is the enzyme which take part in elongation phase of replication. This is the main enzyme DNA polymerase 3, which take part in the elongation phase of the replication. Then DNA polymerase 4 produced by gene DIN-B, and this polymerase 4 function in SOS repair. We know that there are various types of repair mechanisms, DNA repair mechanisms which work in prokaryotic cell, out of which one of the important is SOS repair, save or soul repair. Okay, and the last enzyme, which is DNA polymerase 5, produced by a gene UMUD2C, and this enzyme also function in SOS repair. These two are the type of DNA repair mechanisms which is found in prokaryotes. Now, out of these 5 DNA polymerase enzymes, only first 3 are well characterized and well studied. Okay, because these 3 enzymes are important. So in my next point, I'm going to discuss about these 3 enzymes. So here you can see polymerase 1, polymerase 2, polymerase 3 and their characters. All these enzymes play different role in the cell. For example, polymerase 1 enzyme is produced by gene Pol A. Polymerase 2 enzyme is produced by gene Pol B, while polymerase 3 enzyme is produced by Pol C. Okay, so polymerase 1 enzyme is made up of one subunit. Total number of subunit or component in polymerase 1 enzyme is 1, while in polymerase 2 they are 7. That means this polymerase 2 enzyme, this enzyme is made up of 7 different type of subunits, while last or most important polymerase, that is polymerase 3, is made up of 10 subunit. We are going to see all these 10 subunit in details, their function in polymerase 3. But you have to remember that polymerase 3 enzyme is made up of 10 subunit, and this is the main enzyme which take part in replication. Now, the third characteristic of all these polymerase is 3' to 5' exonuclease activity. 3' to 5' exonuclease activity. That means this is the activity which is also called as proofreading activity. If the polymerase synthesizing new strand in 5' to 3' direction, sometime mistake occur by polymerase. That means instead of T, it may add G or C, and this type of mistake is very lethal in the cell. So they have to repair these mistakes, and for repairing, polymerase have to watch again in 3' to 5' direction, because polymerase is going in 5' to 3' direction, and the enzyme sometime may have to look back for the errors which enzyme has made, and this activity of curing the error is called proofreading. And in this activity, enzyme go in 3' to 5' direction, so it is called as 3' to 5' exonuclease activity. In this action, enzyme look backward again. Then if enzyme found any mistake, then it remove that base by exonuclease activity and add correct base at that particular position. And now this activity is called as 3' to 5' exonuclease activity. DNA polymerase 1 enzyme have this 3' to 5' exonuclease activity, also called as proofreading activity. DNA polymerase 2 also have this activity, and DNA polymerase 3, which is our major enzyme, also have proofreading activity or 3' to 5' exonuclease activity, in which enzyme itself cure the error which is made during the replication process. Now the next property is 5' to 3' exonuclease activity. In this activity, enzyme synthesizing the new DNA in 5' to 3' direction, and if enzyme having this property, that means enzyme can remove the bases in the same direction. If any new DNA strand come in front of my way, and if I have the activity 5' to 3' exonuclease activity, in that case enzyme have ability to remove the base from the DNA in 5' to 3' direction. Surprisingly, this 5' to 3' exonuclease activity is only present in DNA polymerase 1, but it is absent in polymerase 2 and polymerase 3. You have to remember this thing because it is very important at the time of actual replication process, elongation and termination. This enzyme, DNA polymerase 1, have this 5' to 3' exonuclease activity, but DNA polymerase 2 and 3 do not show these properties. The next is rate. Rate means how many nucleotides DNA polymerase add per second. in new DNA strands. If polymerase start adding nucleotide in this strand or leading strand, if uh, on template strand here is adenine, then in new strand polymerase will going to add thymine. If guanine, it will going to add cytosine, complementary base pairing. And rate is the rate means the ability of enzyme to add number of nucleotide in newly growing DNA strand within a minute or within a second. And here you can found 16 to 20 nucleotides were added in new DNA strand by DNA polymerase 1 per second. DNA polymerase 2 add 40 nucleotide per second, while our main enzyme DNA polymerase 3 have ability to add 250 to 1000 new nucleotide in the growing strand per second. 250 to 1000 nucleotide per second. This is called as rate of DNA polymerase 3. And now the last and important property of all these three enzymes is processivity. Processivity means once DNA polymerase bound to the template strand, how many nucleotide it add before falling off. Sometimes enzyme get fall off or get removed itself from the template strand. So how many nucleotide, average how many nucleotide DNA polymerase add before falling off from the template strand, this is called as processivity. It is very important property in elongation. DNA polymerase 1 have processivity of 3 to 200 nucleotide. That means once DNA polymerase 1 bound to the template strand, it can add 3 to 200 nucleotide in one turn. Then it can fall. Okay. DNA polymerase 2 add 1 to 500 nucleotide in one round, while highest processivity it's shown by DNA polymerase 3, which is 5 lakh. That means once DNA polymerase 3 enzyme bound on the template strand, it can add 5 lakh nucleotide before falling off. So highest processivity is observed in DNA polymerase 3. So this is the major enzyme in replication. Okay, so now we are going to see DNA polymerase 3 enzyme structure and different type of subunit the enzyme having in detail. You have to focus on this part because without understanding the structure of DNA polymerase 3, it is not possible to understand the elongation phase of the replication, because every subunit which is have present in the DNA polymerase 3 play important role in the elongation phase. Okay, so DNA polymerase 3 enzyme having, we have already seen total 10 subunits. So here I have made the list of all the subunit which DNA polymerase 3 enzyme having. First subunit which is present in the DNA polymerase 3 is alpha. There are total 2 alpha subunit is present in the enzyme, and the main function of alpha is polymerization. Here I have drawn the structure of DNA polymerase 3. Here you can see first alpha subunit and second alpha subunit. Both this subunit play a role of polymerization. Means this subunit help in copying the DNA. Actual synthesis of DNA is take place by these two subunits alpha. Now second subunit is epsilon. Here you can see first epsilon subunit and second epsilon subunit. That means there are total 2 epsilon subunits in DNA polymerase 3, and the role of the epsilon subunit is 3' to 5' exonuclease activity. Here you have seen 3' to 5' exonuclease activity is present in DNA polymerase 3, and this activity is due to epsilon subunit of the enzyme. This epsilon subunit is present attached to alpha. This is first epsilon and this is second epsilon. Now third subunit is theta. This theta subunit also have two number, and actually it stimulate 3' to 5' exonuclease activity. That means this theta subunit help epsilon subunit to perform proofreading. Okay, here you can see theta first and second. Okay, so till we have seen these 3 subunit alpha, epsilon and theta. These 3 subunit alpha, epsilon and theta form core complex of the enzyme, main part of the enzyme. Now the next is gamma subunit. There are total one number of gamma subunit. Here you can see gamma. Okay, and the function of gamma subunit is beta clamp loading. What is beta clamp? Beta clamp are the clamp, name itself suggests this clamp can hold the DNA polymerase tightly on the template strand so that it cannot fall frequently from the template strand. And due to beta clamp, the enzyme having processivity 5 lakhs. This beta clamp prevent enzyme fall from the template strand, and this beta clamp is loaded on the template strand by gamma subunit. Here you can see gamma. And this gamma subunit so called as beta clamp loader. The next subunit in DNA polymerase 3 is delta. There are total one delta subunit in the DNA polymerase 3, and the function of this delta subunit is clamp opener. Here you can see delta. Okay, this subunit mainly help in opening of the beta clamp at the end of replication process. Now the next is delta prime. This delta prime subunit also help in clamp opener. Here you can see delta prime. So both delta and delta prime are attached to the gamma subunit. Gamma subunit help in clamp loading, beta clamp loading, while delta and delta prime help in beta clamp opening. The next subunit is psi. This psi subunit having one in number, and actually it help in interaction with the SSB protein. Yes, in my previous video I discussed about single stranded binding protein. This protein, SSB protein, help to keep both the DNA strand away from each other. That means SSB subunit prevent recoiling of the DNA or reannealing of the DNA, and this psi subunit help in interacting with the SSB. This is very important to load the DNA polymerase at an accurate site. The next is chi. This chi subunit also single subunit, and it interact with gamma. Here you can see chi subunit, psi and chi subunit. This chi subunit interact with the gamma and help gamma to load beta clamp. The next or second last subunit is beta clamp. There are total 4 beta clamp units are present in DNA polymerase, and they are useful in increased processivity. I have already tell you this is beta clamp 1, 2, 3 and 4. From this beta clamp, DNA strand will going to pass, and this beta clamp hold DNA polymerase tightly on the template strand, so it cannot fall frequently from the template strand during the elongation phase, and beta clamp can increase the processivity of DNA polymerase 3 enzyme up to 5 lakh. This happened only due to beta clamp. Now the last subunit of DNA polymerase 3 enzyme is tau. Tau subunit. It is 2 in number, and the function of tau is dimerization. Here you can see this is first and this is second. What is dimerization? Dimerization is the activity by which this alpha core polymerase attached to the second core polymerase by tau subunit. That means tau hold both the core polymerase from leading and lagging strand together. This is also important activity which is played by tau subunit. So till now we have discussed primase enzyme, DNA polymerase. There are 5 different type of DNA polymerase which is present in the prokaryotic cell, out of which 3 polymerase are important. They are well characterized, and as DNA polymerase 3 is major enzyme of replication, we have discussed the structure of DNA polymerase in detail. DNA polymerase in prokaryotic cell having 10 different type of subunit. We have seen total number of subunit and their functions. Now we are going to start elongation part of the DNA replication process. In many videos on the internet, you can found the description of elongation like this: a leading strand synthesized at once, but lagging strand synthesized in short fragment by formation of loop. It is very incorrect. Actually, lagging strand is not synthesized in short fragment due to loop, but it is synthesized in short fragment due to polarity problem. Okay, in one strand or leading strand, new strand direction is 5 prime to 3 prime. It is okay, but on lagging strand, the direction is opposite 3 prime to 5 prime. So DNA polymerase cannot synthesize lagging strand in this direction. So polymerase have to synthesize lagging strand in opposite direction. Okay, this is the major issue in elongation. So to solve that, we have to see the later half of this video carefully. Now I'm going to load this DNA polymerase enzyme 3 on the leading as well as on the lagging strand. Here you can see first, at the time of loading this enzyme on the both the strand, first subunit which come in the picture is gamma. Gamma subunit recognize primer. That means gamma subunit of the enzyme recognize the primer position, and then gamma complex, mainly gamma, delta, delta prime, epsilon and psi. This is called as gamma complex. Gamma complex load beta clamp on both the strands. So this is first beta clamp and this is second beta clamp on leading strand. Same thing happen on lagging strand. So first step which occur during the elongation phase is transfer of beta clamp on both leading and lagging strand by gamma subunit. Now in the second phase, gamma subunit, after loading beta clamp, this beta clamp have strong affinity for alpha. Then this beta clamp attract alpha on both leading and lagging strand. So alpha subunit bound to beta clamp on both the strand. This is alpha. Alpha subunit attached with epsilon and theta. This is the second phase of the formation of hollow enzyme complex on both the strand. Now this two subunit attract tau protein, and now this tau protein will going to place itself like this. Okay, and after binding of tau to both the alpha, dimerization phase is complete. And after dimerization, we can see this complex, and this complex is called as hollow enzyme complex, which contain beta clamp, alpha, tau, and DNAB. What is DNAB? In my previous video, I discussed about DNAB protein. This is the helicase enzyme which will going to unwind the DNA strand in front of alpha. When this DNA polymerase move on leading and lagging strand simultaneously in one direction, in front of the enzyme, hydrogen bond which is present between two DNA strand will going to break open by DNAB. Now, when the process of replication start on leading strand, alpha, which is a polymerization subunit, here you can see alpha have polymerization function. Alpha read the template DNA strand and then add nucleotide on 3' OH end of primer on leading strand. And then on leading strand, direction become 5' to 3'. New strand is continuously synthesized. No problem on leading strand, but on lagging strand, direction become 3' to 5'. In this direction, polymerase cannot synthesize the new strand. So what happened when this polymerase move on the leading strand in upward direction, the polymerase on lagging strand also move without forming new DNA strand. Why this happened? Because when this polymerase move in upward direction, then in the way the polymerase got primer, which is produced by primase enzyme. I already tell you that on lagging strand, multiple primers are produced. When this DNA polymerase meet with the primer, which is produced in opposite direction, 5' end and this is 3' end, then this alpha, when attached to the primer, then now the enzyme cannot move downward because this is moving upward. So what happened? This alpha core polymerase pull the template strand and then read the template strand and form new strand in opposite direction. Due to the pulling of the template strand, a loop is produced. Loop on lagging strand, and now this enzyme produced due to pulling, and the enzyme is able to read the nucleotide which is present on the lagging strand, and now the enzyme add new nucleotide in this direction. Okay, so direction become 5 prime to 3 prime. At the end of the strand, alpha again start moving, stop the process of replication and again start moving towards next primer along with this polymerase, and when this alpha reach to the next primer, it again bind to the primer, pull the DNA strand upward, read the DNA strand and produce new DNA strand in lower direction. So by doing the activities, similar activity again and again, DNA polymerase synthesize lagging strand in short fragment. This short fragment was first time reported by Okazaki in 1960. So these fragments are called as Okazaki fragments. And due to this process, these fragments, DNA replication process is called as semi-discontinuous because it is continuous on one strand and discontinuous on another strand. Okay, and at the end of elongation phase, this primer is RNA primer. So we have to remove this primer because this is DNA. Another enzyme come in picture which is DNA polymerase 1. DNA polymerase 1 remove primer from lagging strand as well as from leading strand. Then it also fill the gap with DNA. Then finally termination phase begin. In my next video I am going to discuss how DNA polymerase 1 remove the primer from lagging and leading strand, how the enzyme fill the gap, and how the nick which is present in between different fragments is sealed by DNA ligase, and how the process of termination occur in the prokaryotic cell. Thank you.